Hello there, Ray here. We have a brand new snapshot. This is 21W19A, and with it they are getting ready to make a clean separation between the Caves and Cliffs update number 1 and number 2. So in the new snapshot, they are removing some items that aren't completely finished to the quality that they want. This includes candles. There will be no candles in Survival for 1.17. It also won't show up in the creative menu, but you can still access them using the give command. Now they did the same thing for the bundles. You won't be able to craft them, so you won't see them in 1.17 survival. Now the last item that they did this to is the skulk sensor. This one does make sense because there's currently no way to get this in survival anyways, where the other two you could craft them. But if you would like to use these features like normal, you can find them in the data pack. And if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure to go ahead and do that and hit the bell as well. You don't miss out on the crazy discoveries that we make about the newest version. They made a change to anvils, and now it's possible to put in more characters as the item's name than before. So before the maximum was 35 characters, but now it's up to 50. This is my sword that I keep hopping versions with, so it gets these weird tags. And it was actually longer than what you could type out in survival. So now any item that has kind of glitched out names that are super long, like this one here, could no longer be rare because they increased the limit. There were some things in the game that really did have long names to start with, like the polished blackstone pressure plate. And when put into anvil, it was really close to the max amount of characters. And during the snapshot, they actually did have some items that were over the limit. So now this will give them a little bit more room to make longer names in the game. They also made a change, so geodes are going to be much more rare to find. As in the old worlds, like this one here, you can see that we have like 3 that are really close together. They also added special tags: mineable axe, mineable hoe, mineable pickaxe, and mineable shovel. These are tags that the game uses to determine if a tool can be used to mine certain blocks. As you know, in some cases, if you don't use a tool, it doesn't drop the item. So with this tag, you can make it so that pretty much anything can be used to mine other stuff for your map making needs. Besides that, they also made it so you have special tags for stone tools, iron tools, and diamond tools, because in some cases, having a low tier tool will not give you the item as well. So this will give a lot more creativity to map makers. But one of the biggest updates in this version is Java 1.16 is a new version that will be used for Minecraft. Now for a long time, Minecraft ran on a very old version of Java, but more recently they did update it, and now they're updating it again. Even though 1.16 isn't the newest version, it can do a lot more by running newer versions. Now this is the main thing that actually does a lot of the calculations in the game. So this should definitely help out the Java players and the performance of Minecraft when they play it. Now it does says that if you are using a setup, the launcher will download and install the correct version. Now I did try to just download Minecraft and it didn't actually work for me. I got an error. It does say if you're using a custom Java setup or a third-party launcher that you need to ensure that Java is installed for version 16 or above. So if you're having a problem, you most likely need to go ahead and install it. Now they also changed up the syntax for the item command. This is a command they recently tweaked and is used to modify items in different containers and slots inside of the game. So this command is the previous change that they made. They also added this one where it copies the item for the source to the target, and you have an option to apply a modifier. They also have an option where you can modify an item without actually copying the previous one. So here's an example where they replace an item inside of a container that is near you from an entity's ender chest in slot 1. This will give people more ability to move items from different containers while also tweaking them a little bit. Besides the changes where they are getting ready to finish up the 1.17 Caves and Cliffs update part 1, they also came in with a bunch of bug fixes, most of which have to do with new things in the cave update. The first one is a bug where the dragon would automatically respawn in a world where there was no exit-end portal blocks here in the center, or when the legacy scan was done in the game. This would cause a new dragon fight to occur. Now in Bedrock, it's possible to put a lead on a squid, so now they also added this for the Java edition. This should make it a lot easier to move them around. Now there was a bug if you made custom giant mushrooms using a data pack and try to put in different types of blocks other than mushroom, it would cause a crash. When putting in these cakes with candles, they changed the wording a little bit so that they will now be called cake with X type of candle. They fixed this bug to do with lightning rods. When they get struck and moved, they would stay this bright color, which is only the color that's supposed to show up the moment it gets struck and not constantly afterwards. They fixed the problem with sheep that were sheared rendering improperly through tinted glass. There was a problem that pufferfish weren't defending themselves when attacked by axolotls. That's now changed. So like in my fish farm that uses axolotls, I'll have to be careful, make sure that they don't die over time. But with them regenerating, they shouldn't. Also, they fixed it so withers will no longer attack axolotls when they are playing dead. They also reorganized quite a few different things in the creative menu that are part of 1.17 so that they better fit the different themes within the menu. There was a problem that if shulkers were spawning outside of the world border, they would be bugged out. When holding the hanging root in the hand, you can see it kind of looks like it's floating and wasn't touching it, and that's been fixed. There's also a problem that shulkers were spawning incorrectly inside of the end city ships. They changed this little trick where if you have an entity that is kind of hovering above the drip leaf, it will no longer detect it. It has to actually be touching it now. These will now consider the cave vines, also known as the glowberries, as things that they can come in and pollinate. They also fix a problem where items would try to fall through a drip leaf like this, but wouldn't be able to. Bone milling a big drip leaf that's in water will now also update the water. They fix a problem to do with lightning, targeting the wrong lightning rod or targeting the wrong copper block. You might remember this weird thing that occurred when you open up a shulker box. It kind of like lift you up, kind of bounce you at the very top. It will no longer do this. They also fix a problem with generation where sometimes you would find floating water inside of caves. In some cases, placing down powder snow could cause ghost blocks when in creative mode, and now it's no longer. In a previous snapshot, they changed it so that infested blocks were supposed to no longer be broken instantly, but instead just half the speed that they normally take. But instead, they actually made it take double the speed. So now it should be a little bit harder to detect these when mining, but still more easily detectable than like in 1.16. The Dragon's Breath area effect cloud was causing the performance of the game to decrease by quite a bit. That's been resolved. They also tweaked some other minor issues like particles, making sure different blocks had the correct tags. With all of these changes, we can definitely tell that they are getting close to doing the full release of the first part of the cave update, also known as 1.17. Now, some things that we still haven't quite seen added in for survival is like getting the goat horn as an item for the Java edition, and we also don't have a way to get the ore blossoms in survival. But pretty much everything else that is in the 1.17 can be obtained and it is renewable. I've also designed a farm for every single new type of item, so if you guys want to check out those, you can find all those on my Simple Farms playlist, which I'll have in the description. And every Wednesday, we do a snapshot testing with the viewers over there at my Twitch channel. You guys can join me in my testing server, and the IP can be found on my Discord. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys over there at my Twitch livestream. Bye-bye!